Hello and welcome. This is a brief introduction to DNA calf registration for 2023. So before you start registering calves through the DNA calf process, there's a few things you should have received from us. First and foremost, there are double tissue tag order forms. These are to order your double tissue calf tags for the program. You can only order them through the form. You can't order them online or over the phone from your tag company. So please make sure you use the form. If you're going to order your calf tags and you can't find the form, you might have misplaced it, please contact us and we'll get you out a new one. Second of all, you should receive DNA tissue tags for cows in calf heifers and stock bulls. So anything in the herd that wasn't genotyped that could calve in 2023, you should have received a DNA tag for. So please make sure you return them if you still have them on farm, so that they can get genotyped before they calve. You also received a welcome pack from us. The most important thing in this are your return envelopes. So you see them here on the right hand side of the screen. You must use these when sending away your DNA samples to avoid any delays in the lab. When you use these envelopes, they arrive in Weatherby's and get processed as the first priority each day. You also would have got instructions on how to register calves from us, so a document explaining that, and also a brief document just showing the difference between DNA and BVD samples, which we will also touch on in this presentation. If you haven't got any of the above or you're unsure, please do contact us. So as I mentioned already, you should have got DNA tissue tags for any animals that could calve in 2023 that are previously ungenotyped. Okay, if you have an ungenotyped stock bull or you bought in some in-calf heifers or cows or anything like this that will calve during the year, please contact us so we can make sure they get genotyped. We must have all these animals genotyped before they calve so that when the calf sample arrives in the lab, we're able to verify parentage. Cull cows or empty heifers or heifers for fattening, anything like that that won't calve in 2023 do not need to be sampled. So this slide is very important, particularly for anyone who's new to the program. So if you're new to the program and you have normal, regular national calf tags left over from last spring that haven't been used yet, and you'll be using them this spring, you will need to get a button tag in order to be able to take the DNA sample at birth. Okay. Similarly, if you already ordered your calf tags for 2023 prior to joining the program, so you only have normal national tags for this year, then once again you will also need to get DNA button tags to be able to take the DNA sample. So how do you do it? You are able to do it on the ICBF website. So you just log into your ICBF account. As soon as you log in, on the right hand side you should see this DNA calf registration box, and there's a button in there to order DNA button tags. Once you go in there, just follow the instructions on the screen. You'll enter the first and last tag number of those national tags you have on farm. That will generate a list. That list then will be sent to your tag supplier by us. Once a day we send them, and this will have a list of all the numbers that require a button tag. All you do then is follow up with your tag supplier to complete payment with them for the button tags. So just on the actual process of registering calves on ICBF. So look, first of all, many of the herds may have been using agfood.ie in the past to register calves, so you will be using ICBF now instead to register your calves. Okay, so the first step, you tag your calf, collect your BVD and DNA sample. So your BVD sample goes to your normal lab as you always do, and the DNA sample is sent to Weatherby's in the white return envelopes we provide. Okay, once you've that done, you go onto the ICBF website. We have a special screen developed for registering calves on ICBF. You'll enter the calving details there. So you enter the date of birth, you enter the normal details you'll be used to, your sire, dam, your sex, etc., as if you didn't have a DNA sample, and you save them once you've them entered. Okay, then you leave it. A couple of days later, you'll get a text from ICBF saying DNA result back, calf ready to register. You log into ICBF, you'll see the DNA result is back on the screen, and you'll be able to complete the registration of that calf with the parentage and sex verified. If a DNA sample is empty or of poor quality, which does happen on a rare occasion, once again you'll receive a text from ICBF just letting you know that you can complete the registration on ICBF and you won't be made wait for a DNA result. Okay, so that's the process of what's involved. So the next few slides just show the screens I've been referring to in the previous slide. So once you log into ICBF.com, you will see on the right hand side this DNA calf registration. You click the calf registration button. This will bring into the screen you see here on the bottom left All the tag numbers of your calves will be listed on the left. You just enter the date of birth, save your date of birth, and then on the right hand side you click enter details. So once you click on the enter details button, you'll see this little pop-up that you see here on the screen on the bottom left. So you can see there you can enter sire, dam, sex, etc. on the calf. Once you've done that, you click save and you can leave it. You go away and all you're doing then is you're waiting for your text message. So a couple of days later, you get your text message from ICBF saying calf ready to register. You log into ICBF, go into this screen again, and you will see there that your calf result will be back, and on the right hand side it'll have changed to complete registration. You click that, check you're happy with the DNA result, what it's predicting, and you'll be able to click save and register with DAFM. That sends the registration off to the department. Job done, calf registered. So this slide just highlights the difference between the BVD and DNA samples. So if you're Cormac tagging or Mullinahone, the pink is DNA, the white is BVD. I would strongly advise farmers to write this on a piece of paper and put it into their box of tags so they see it each time and will be reminded in case you get confused. Okay, so pink is DNA, white is BVD. If you're with Datamars or AgriTags, if either of them are your tag supplier, it's an additional button tag you'll be using to take the DNA sample. Okay. And finally, I'm just going to go through some commonly asked questions. So the first and most important one probably, do DNA and BVD samples go to separate places? Yes, your BVD goes to your normal regular lab you always use. Your DNA sample goes to Weatherby's in the return envelopes we've provided. How much is postage? So it's basically the same rule of thumb as BVD, exact same cost. How often should you post samples? So we would be saying that you should be posting at least once a week, but this very much depends on how many cows are calving at a given time and how tight your calving spread is. If you have a lot of cows calving and you're conscious that you want to, be getting blue cards back, getting calves registered, we'd be saying to post DNA samples twice a week. It just depends on the volume of calves hitting the ground in a given week. But if you're in the height of spring, you have a lot of calves hitting the ground and you want to get calves registered, keep sending away samples, get them away twice a week. And you'll keep getting results back and being able to register calves. If you break a tag, that's no problem. If you break a tag or you drop your DNA samples down through the slats so they get lost in the straw and you don't have a DNA sample, no problem. Just give us a shout. We'll send you out a hair card to take the DNA sample. If the actual yellow tag gets broken and doesn't go into the calf's ear, then you will need to get a replacement national tag so the calf has his 2 tags in his ears. Next question. So what happens if I forget to send samples or they get lost or samples get delayed? So look, there is a fail-safe in there. It's a legal requirement to have calves registered by 27 days of age. So when you put in your details on ICBF, you'll be obviously putting in the date of birth. So what we'll do once the calf hits 23 days of age, and if there's not a DNA result back, we will allow you to register the calf without a DNA result on ICBF. And you'll also get a text from ICBF saying, calf tag number 123 is 3 days or less left to register. Please complete the registration. So we'll remind you to complete the registration as well if the DNA result isn't going back. How will you know when calves are ready to register? So look, you will receive a text from ICBF. You can also check the status of the calves on the DNA reg screen in ICBF, but you will get text from us. So whenever a DNA result is back for a calf, you'll get a text saying DNA results back, calves ready to register. How long does it take to get a blue card? Look, this is completely dependent on how quickly you post away the samples from the farm into Weatherby's. Look, within Weatherby's, the agreed turnaround is 7 days or less. So look, if you're posting away samples quickly, you'll have your DNA results within 7 days. You're able to register your calf and get your blue card. The average in 2022 was about 13.5 days birth to registration. Okay, this varies anywhere from 10 days up to 18, depending, and a lot of that depends on how quickly you can post away the sample for the calf after it is born. What happens if I was still born or a calf dead at birth? Look, it is not necessary to sample dead calves because they're of little benefit to you. The one thing we would, the one kind of note of caution we would give to farmers is if there's any doubt of the dam of that dead calf. So if you're not 100% sure who the dam is, it would be advisable to follow the DNA reg process there, just so you don't mix up dams on a dead calf. Okay. And just for dairy farmers, so dairy male calves and getting them, requested by AI companies for genotyping, etc. So you might be familiar with getting AI contracts in the post. So look, with the DNA calf ridge, all AI contracts are now online. Okay, there'll be no paper contracts issued; they're all online. Look, what will happen is, if when you register the calf, the AI company, if they want to request the calf, they will do it. You will get a text message from ICBF saying an AI contract has been issued for a calf in your herd. You log into ICBF. On the right hand side, you'll see a button, Dairy AI Contracts. Click that, you'll be able to see the calf that's been requested, and you'll be able to assign it to an AI company. Okay. The other change, I suppose, in the dairy male calves is we have twice weekly genomic evaluations. So they'll be coming out twice a week. Any calves not requested by AI will flow straight out. So if they're not requested by an AI company, whether it is a heifer calf or a bull calf, their results will flow straight out. Okay. So in conclusion, the process is quite simple. When your calf hits the ground, you tag your calf, get your BVD and your DNA sample, send your BVD to our normal lab, the DNA sample goes to Weatherby's, enter the calf's details onto ICBF and save them. Wait for your text then from ICBF that the DNA results are back, calf ready to register, log on to ICBF and complete your registration. If you have any questions at any time or you're unsure about anything, please contact us in the Herd Plus office on 023 882 0452, or you can also email us. We have a dedicated email for it, dnareg@icbf.com. Thank you.